with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
Thank you for choosing Channel 3 for your news on this day after Christmas. I'm David Carroll.
I'm Greg Glover in for Cindy Sexton. We begin with some breaking news we've been following this evening. Chattanooga police say what was called in as shots fired at Hamilton Place Mall turned out to be teenagers setting off fireworks.
And they set off a lot of panic as well. Police say callers were reporting shots being fired at the mall around 4:40 this afternoon. Now, the Chattanooga Police Department tells us that officers arrived at the scene and found that fireworks were being set off by some teenagers inside the mall. Now, police are still investigating. We're seeing a live scene outside the mall now, and things seem to have settled down. And as far as injuries, police say there were no injuries. There are some people on social media saying that some folks may have gotten injured, minor injuries, just trying to get out of there. So we're learning the facts as we go along here, and we will let you know as soon as they become available.
It was a warm Christmas. Could continue that trend for at least another day.
So you may not need that heavy coat, but there's a good chance you'll need a raincoat or an umbrella. Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris is right alongside in the Storm Alert Center to take us into the week. Paul?
We'll need some probably a raincoat in the morning, but this evening I think you'll be fine. Now, there's a few sprinkles out there, but that's about it. Let's take a look right now at where that rain is. It's just north of Memphis, towards Dyersburg, then up towards Paducah. We put this into motion. Some pretty good thunderstorms building up. As a matter of fact, in Arkansas, just to the south and west of Little Rock, south and east of Little Rock, there is a tornado warning in effect. So it's probably, if it's occurring, it's probably a very small tornado. This time of year, you usually don't get the real big ones. But there are some pretty good thunderstorms moving into West Tennessee, but they'll be moving into West Kentucky way before they ever get towards us, and it'll probably be fading out for tomorrow. 62 currently in the city and Knoxville, 70 Nashville, Memphis 74, so the temperature's really warm out west. That's one of the reasons those thunderstorms are starting to bloom. We are about 7 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time. You got to remember, yesterday we almost set a record. It's a lot warmer up towards Louisville, 17 degrees. And then for your evening out, temperature is pretty much holding steady. Not much change until you wake up, and then you'll see those showers. The complete 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Paul. Investigators are looking at arson as a possible cause for a fire that destroyed a home in Polk County.
The blaze broke out around 5 this morning off Highway 411. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Cameron Taylor has the latest on this developing story. Cameron?
Fire investigators say they don't believe this was an accident. More than 20 firefighters from the West Polk County Volunteer Fire and Rescue arrived to get it under control. They saw heavy smoke and some flames. Investigators say a couple and their young child lived here, but had moved to a relative's home just feet away recently. They are renting it from a woman who lives nearby. Officials say they're looking at several factors in this case.
You have to take into consideration that the structure was empty, no one was supposed to be there, there's no electricity, no open flame or fire, and you have a fire. I mean, it can happen, but it's very, very rare.
Not much, if anything, could be saved from the collapsed home. Right now, no one has been charged. And we're told from investigators the person responsible could face aggravated arson charges. In the studio, Cameron Taylor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Was not a Merry Christmas for one Chattanooga woman. She's recovering from severe burns after a fire broke out inside her apartment.
She suffered from smoke inhalation. In fact, she had to be carried out by a firefighter. Channel 3's Natalie Potts has the story.
A Christmas Day fire inside of this home on East 10th Street left a woman with severe burns to both of her hands. Firefighters put the flames out quickly. They say it could have been much worse.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words, this one surely tells the story of bravery and strength on Christmas Day. We see an injured woman being carried by a Chattanooga firefighter to safety. She was treated on the scene for first-degree burns to her hands and arms and smoke inhalation. The good news, she will be okay. The bad news, there's significant damage to her apartment.
Could have been a great loss, could have been a very big loss. It's a good thing that our fire units got to the scene very quickly, were able to respond, put the fire out, contain it to one unit.
Assistant Fire Marshal Chuck Hartung says firefighters were on the scene within 5 minutes of the call for help. They found an upstairs couch and rug engulfed in flames. Officials say the historic home could have been easily destroyed, leaving 4 sets of families without a place to live.
Fire was contained to one apartment. It's a quadplex. There are several apartments in the house.
Investigators say the cause will most likely be a candle, based on preliminary information. According to the National Fire Protection Association, candle fires cause an annual average of 86 civilian fire deaths and 827 civilian fire injuries each year. Research shows the top 4 days for home candle fires are New Year's Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and Christmas Eve.
We just recommend that if you're going to use a candle, use it wisely. Use it in a room where you're present all the time. Never leave a candle unattended. It's just, it's too dangerous.
The total cost of damage is still being determined, and the cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Reporting in Chattanooga, Natalie Potts, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Everyone is okay after a small kitchen fire inside an East Ridge home. This happened this morning on Prigmore Road. Crews on the scene say the damage was minor. No one was injured.
Now, cooking, candles, and holiday decorations increase the risk of house fires, but Christmas trees appear to be the biggest culprit.
That's why disposing of that tree is so important in keeping you and your family safe. New at 6, Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tanisha Cordell spoke with local firefighters to tell us what we can do to prevent disasters.
It only takes a matter of seconds for your Christmas tree to catch fire and just 1 minute for your entire home to be fully engulfed in flames.
All it takes is one spark and that tree can ignite. When that tree is harvested, it's drying out. And even if you're keeping it watered, it's still drying out. It's dying, it's decaying. And we saw the forest fires in Gatlinburg. We saw how all that dryness, what happens, and that can happen inside your living room.
In past years, Chattanooga firefighters have fought fires with Christmas trees being to blame. In this video by Whitfield County firefighters, you see just how quickly a tree can spark and spread, something that seems all too common nationwide. A report from the National Fire Protection Association shows more than 200 Christmas tree fires were sparked annually between 2009 and 2013. The majority of those fires are caused by electrical problems, including heaters.
If you've got a space heater that's too close to your tree, that really could cause you a problem. It's just like being too close to curtains or too close to anything that's combustible. It could cause a major fire in your house.
Officials also recommend checking your holiday lights for frayed wires or excessive wear. Make sure your tree is not blocking an exit in case of an emergency, and always turn off lights on a tree before going to bed or leaving your home.
Most fires are preventable. The human factor is what comes into mind, and we just don't think. We think it's pretty to look at. We want to capture that season and keep that season in our house long after the Christmas holiday is over, and we will look at it, but it is unsafe to keep a tree in your house for over 30 days.
The county's 5 recycling centers will be providing designated spots for you to drop off your Christmas trees at any time starting January 1st through the end of the month. For more details, head to our website, WRCBTV.com. In the studio, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
With all the wildfires we've had across the Tennessee Valley this year, at one point a burn ban was in place for every county in the Channel 3 viewing area. But now the Tennessee Agriculture Commissioner says all of the burn bans have been lifted thanks to some rain, but some permits are still required, so do be careful.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office has arrested a Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia man on aggravated burglary and robbery charges. Deputies say Kenneth Hamill went to a home on Esquire Drive on December 15th, and they say he beat up the man inside that home. Deputies say Hamill pulled a knife and threatened the man with it, and later took his wallet. The victim was able to identify Hamill from a photo lineup. He was arrested yesterday, Christmas Day.
Chattanooga police are still looking for a suspect in a Christmas Eve shooting. This happened on 12th Avenue just after 7 o'clock Saturday night. Police say that shooting appeared to have escalated from an argument between the victim and the suspect. The victim ended up being shot in the leg, expected to be okay. Police haven't released any suspect information at this point, but if you know anything about this shooting, call the Chattanooga Police Department. When we come back to Eyewitness News at 6.
It was really good. I wanted to wear it, but it was too small.
Yes, too small. You hear that this time of year, the day after Christmas. The gift returns and exchanges are rolling in. If you plan on fighting long lines, we have a few tips that might make it a little bit less stressful. We're coming back with more on Eyewitness News at 6 after this.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
Well, it's the day after Christmas, and some people are not completely satisfied with some of the gifts we received. We feel like maybe the gift card was too small, not enough money on it. So there's a lot of regifting, returning, that sort of thing.
Can you do that? Just return it and get more money on the gift card?
Shot.
Well, excellent. National Retail Federation says about 1 in 10 gifts will be returned. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pham tells us what we need to know if we're taking presents back to stores.
If you're not crazy about the gift Santa Claus left for you under the tree, you're not alone. The National Retail Federation says the day after Christmas can be the busiest day for returns.
We love the clothes, but we looked at the tags and we knew that they were too small, so hopefully they have the same exact clothes and a bigger size for him.
The unwrapping is over. Now millions of Americans like Jason McNeely and his son are standing in lines at stores making returns.
It was really good. I wanted to wear it, but it was too small.
The National Retail Federation estimates that about 10% of gifts bought during the holidays will be returned, and that equates to more than $60 billion. Retailers say customers should act fast before prices change or stock runs out. It's why some customers showed up to the mall early.
And nothing worked, so I brought everything back this morning, and I've already made exchanges.
Return policies are now changing. While some stores are extending their return window, others are shortening the time you have to return items like electronics and drones. Retailers expect the busy return season to last through January.
Nothing was really difficult at all. I mean, it was just, hey, I need a bigger size, I need a smaller size, a lot of things. I'm a big guy, so things don't fit me a whole lot.
Many stores are now requiring photo ID for returns to prevent fraud and theft. It's why it's important to check return policies beforehand to save yourself an extra trip. Reporting in Chattanooga, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
The store managers say having a receipt is the key to getting full value for your item. If you don't go as soon as possible, the value will likely shrink.
And we're going to take a short break here on Eyewitness News at 6. When we come back, we'll be talking about yesterday's warm Christmas weather and this warm start to the new week. We'll find out when temperatures will drop and when you could expect rain. As 2016 winds down, Paul Barris has a full look at the forecast next.
Coming up Tuesday on Channel 3 Eyewitness News today, Michelle and I holding down the fort once again. The nearly world famous Tim Pham out and about doing wonderful things.
And what's the weather going to look like and keeping you up to date with all of your traffic updates. We'll see you in the morning.
Out over West Tennessee and even Middle Tennessee, the temperatures are in the 70s, and there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and the showers and thunderstorms are popping right along, moving out of Missouri near the Boot Heel area, out towards Paducah, and then up into Kentucky. So all these showers and storms moving to the north and east. We're over here, so that rain's going to stay north of us throughout the evening and through much of the night. But by dawn, maybe after 6 o'clock in the morning, may start to see some showers approach the Cumberland Plateau, but they should be fading out as they move into some cooler air, and the atmosphere doesn't have as much energy to lend itself to producing big thunderstorms. We pull back here, and here's the cold front that's going to be easing in. It's sliding in. It's not just racing in like some of these thunderstorms do. Winds out of the south-southeast at 7. It's 62 in the city, 63 Cleveland, already down to 59 in Dalton, 61 Fort Payne, 56 near Murphy, and 64 up near Athens. 64 was our high today, 58 the overnight low, and we're 17 inches below normal in rain. So we could use a few inches, and we may see a few inches coming up into the weekend, but it's going to be questionable whether we're going to see any decent rain before the end of the year. 67 in Chatsworth, 64 Dalton and Calhoun, Lafayette was 60, while Lakeside, Soddy Daisy were 63, and Mowbray Mountain and Dunlap were 65, while Red Bank was 64. Delano got up to 67, and 60 in Murphy was 64 in Spring City. Colmont at 60, and Dayton was 62 degrees. Here's the latest Vipercast close-up view showing the showers increasing overnight. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. So about 5, 6 in the morning, these showers start to spread in over the plateau, push off towards the east. Then we start to see some clearing right into tomorrow night, and it looks like clear skies right into Wednesday. Now I'm thinking about 1 to 2 tenths of an inch of rain around here. Maybe up to a half inch of rain north and west of the city, but I really think the heaviest rain is going to be north of Interstate 40 and out of our viewing area. But again, 1 to 2 inches, 1 to 2 tenths of an inch of rain coming up for tomorrow. Pinpoint forecast for tomorrow. Looks like the temperature will still be in the 60s all across the viewing area. 62 in Copper Hill and about 64 out near Cleveland. 57 tonight with some showers developing late with light winds. For tomorrow, high temperatures near 64 with light rain showers. And then coming up for tomorrow night, we're going to see the low temperatures dropping to about 42 with partly cloudy skies and again some light winds. So the Channel 3 Storm Alert 7-day forecast has Wednesday at 60 and we'll call partly cloudy. A low of 42, it should be chilly in the morning. And then on Thursday, the chance for rain starts to go up again, especially south of the city. 57 for the high, drying off on Friday at 46. And then into the weekend, we'll see some more showers Saturday and a little better chance coming up on New Year's Day at 56. And some warm air comes back next Monday and another good chance for some showers and 65. So for the next 7 days, we could easily see a couple inches of rain, but not tomorrow.
And a wet start for 2017.
That's right.
Quite possible. Thank you, Paul.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, bowl season is in full effect. Some SEC teams have played their final games of the season.
Paul Shaheen is off. Sammy Kincaid is here this evening and has a little information on Mississippi State. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Mississippi State has already finished up down in Florida, and Vanderbilt is currently playing. Coming up after the break, we'll take a little look at college ball, but also take a look ahead at the pros and how the playoffs are stacking up or not stacking up for some teams. We're in the midst of bowl season, but today marked the first bowl game for the SEC. Back in October, Miami of Ohio and Mississippi State were two teams that appeared to be headed for nowhere in the postseason, but today they faced off in the St. Petersburg Bowl. The 6-6 Redhawks earned their first bowl bid since 2010 by winning their last 6 games after losing their first 6. The 5-7 Bulldogs got in by virtue of their APR, or academic progress rate, when not enough 6-6 teams were available to fill the 80 bowl spots. Let's go out to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Miami of Ohio got on the board first and held control all of the first half, so let's skip ahead to the second half where this game got interesting. With a little under 4:30 to go in the third, Nick Fitzgerald is back to his running game on 3rd and 1, fakes the handoff, rumbling down the sidelines, runs it in for a 44-yard touchdown. Miami's still up 16-14, but right here, Weston Graves connects on the 36-yard field goal for the Mississippi State lead. It's 17-16. Miami ran a couple of plays last minute to get the spot close and in the middle of the field for kicker Nick Dowd, who one try earlier was blocked, and this time the kick is blocked again by Nelson Adams. Miami tried to take back the lead from 37 yards out with 14 seconds left, but Mississippi State wins the St. Petersburg Bowl in dramatic fashion, 17-16 over Miami of Ohio. Another SEC bowl game underway, Vanderbilt against NC State in Shreveport, Louisiana. That game is currently 7-3 NC State in the second quarter. We'll bring you highlights of this game tonight. And lastly, a game that just finished up, Maryland against Boston College in Detroit for the Quick Lane Bowl. Boston College took a quick lead, but Maryland was not going to let them have it easy as they came alive in the second half. Two teams fighting all the way to have this last game of the season. However, Boston College came out on top 36-30. We have some of those highlights of this game later tonight as well. And speaking of these bowl games and college seasons coming to an end, let's speak of another season that is soon coming to an end. For the first time in 8 years, 8-6 Tennessee Titans had a really good chance of making the playoffs, the game that would have put them one step closer to delivering the knockout punch to the failing 2-12 Jacksonville Jaguars, who just fired their head coach after last Sunday's loss to the Texans. The game was in sunny Jacksonville, and that is the only team the sun would be shining on. The Titans played catch-up the entire game, but the biggest loss would be this play right here. Third quarter, under a minute on the clock, Jags up big. On a play-action play, Mariota gets sacked in the backfield by Sheldon Day. He's excited, however, later NFL Network reported that Mariota has a fractured fibula, indicating the Titans QB is done for the season. Not that there's much season left. The Titans tied for first in AFC South coming into this week, ended up losing to the Jaguars 38-17. And with that loss, a Houston win on Saturday, the Titans will have only one more game on New Year's Day at 1 p.m. against the Texans. And tough end to this season for the Titans to have to play the Texans their last game, and that's the team that eventually knocked them out of the playoffs.
Mariota's scheduled surgery for tomorrow, 4 to 5 months recovery period, I think.
Well, hopefully he'll be back in shape for next year. And hey, Falcons fans are happy. You know, pretty good ending for the Falcons this year. Yeah. And I want to thank Sammy for filling in today, Greg for filling in for Cindy. Little inside info, neither one of them feel that good. You folks who are at home and who have these colds and sniffles and things, I don't know if it's the weather, the holidays, the family,
it's
the travel.
Family, yeah.
Is that it?
I think it's the weather. I'll say it's the weather.
But we feel your pain. I know there are a lot of folks out there who are experiencing similar situations, so our hearts are with you, and we hope you feel better soon, and you too as well.
Hey, Paul, how about weather? I'll try not to breathe on you.
Well, for tonight. All right, let's take a look at your evening out. Really nice, cloudy, but very mild. Temperatures hovering somewhere around 60 or so, right through midnight. When you wake up, very little change, but except for showers that'll be coming in, 58, 61. And then we're looking at about 64 for tomorrow. You can't beat that. Even 60 Wednesday is way above normal. Thursday's above normal with more rain. Then it cools down a little bit below normal on Friday. And into the weekend, we'll see some more showers for the New Year's.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see 40s, 50s, and 60s across there, considering when we are.
It'll change. It'll change. A couple weeks, 2-3 weeks.
That'll do it for Eyewitness News at 6.
Hey, drink plenty of fluids, get lots of rest, and keep Channel 3 on in the background. We'll send some good vibrations out your way. NBC Nightly News is next. Have a good evening.